Donald Trump's Voter Suppression SAVE Act is robustly supported by Wisconsin 1st Congressional District Representative Brian Stile. Lion Brian continues to make light of the millions of voters who may be ineligible to vote if the SAVE Act becomes law. Shelley, please share your voter registration story and how it relates to the SAVE Act.
I'm a registered voter. My driver's license came up for renewal, so I went to DMV and I got a new driver's license. Not long after that, about a year later, I go to check my voter registration and I'm informed that I am not a registered voter. And I couldn't understand, how could I not be a registered voter? I voted in this county for all the votes for the last 36 years. How can they tell me that I am not a registered voter? So they said, well, what did you use? What was the identification that you used when you came to vote the last time? And I said, I had my driver's license. And they said, well, if you could bring that same identification and maybe we can figure out what's going on. So I just happened to have retained my expired driver's license. And I took that and realized that the hyphen had been removed by DMV. And that removal of the hyphen changed my name. So I was no longer on the voter registration list. So something so simple as a hyphen could have prevented me from being able to vote. But luckily, they saw it as a clerical error, and I have been allowed to vote ever since. There are many communities that don't have a DMV location nearby. And a lot of registered voters can't get there if they have no transportation. So that is seen as an impediment to that person being able to get the identification necessary for them to be able to vote. But with the SAVE Act, even that wouldn't be enough because they would still have to have that proof of citizenship in order to be able to vote. Now, the most logical proof of citizenship is a passport, a United States issued passport. Now, you don't know, for you to purchase a passport, it costs $165 total. There's $135 for the application, and there's another, there's $130 for the application fee, and $35 that's like the processing fee or the execution fee. I don't know about you, but I can't just whip $165 at the last minute out of nowhere. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people would be forced to do if they had to prove their citizenship. Now, with that being said, if you do apply for your passport, make sure you do it well ahead of time because it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks for that to be processed and returned to you in order for you to verify that you are a citizen of the United States to vote. In my opinion, I think that's just another impediment, another way to stop us from being able to vote. If you decide to get your application in, like I said, please do it early. Now, in the meantime, if you're okay with voting, if you've got all the information you need, we should be able to vote with our already federally regulated driver's license. That should be enough identification for you to use to vote. You shouldn't need to have 2 or 3 pieces of identification to prove that you're a registered voter. If the Save America Act is not approved, please go to My Vote Wisconsin, all one word, MYVOTEWI. Enter your name and address, and it will inform you if you are a registered voter, and it will direct you to your polling location. You'll also find information on absentee voting and mail-in voting, which, thank goodness, yesterday the Supreme Court allowed it to continue. The states are the ones that that determine how they are going to vote and how they're going to accept the votes, not the federal government. Thank you very much for your time.